Hello, welcome to the Rural Fire Brigades Association Queensland RFBAQ Fusion Cruiser. What's a Fusion Cruiser? The RFBAQ with brigades designed 6 Toyota Land Cruisers. We took those Land Cruisers across the whole state of Queensland at the same time and got the largest amount of feedback anyone's ever done for a fire truck in Queensland. From the feedback forms we got, hundreds of them, and thank you very much for everybody who did a feedback form, we came up with Land Cruisers 7 and 8. And we think that gave us the best design light attack for the conditions in Queensland. At the same time, Mercedes-Benz very, very kindly gave us a G-Wagon, and Quick Corp Fire Engineering and the RFBAQ created the innovation platform. That was where we got all the different crew safety ideas, new ones that hadn't been tried before, and we put them on one platform and we took it around the state, and again we went and saw rural fire brigades and rural fire brigade volunteers, and we got their feedback. The best bits of the fusion of the innovation platform we have put onto this Land Cruiser, which is why we call it the Fusion Cruiser. So this video is going to give you a quick walkthrough of the main points of it, and there'll also be links that will take you through to different spec sheets and data sheets for pump flow, also for the crew protection masks, things like that. So let's start walking around the vehicle. Okay, bits you can't see, under the bonnet we have dual batteries. So there's 2 batteries on here because for a lot of brigades fighting fires in central west, far west and north Queensland, this could be the only fire truck on the fire ground. In front of that we have a Cell-Fi Go, okay, so that's a signal booster and it's boosting the Telstra signal. That's attached to a steel bull bar, steel brush bars, all of our vehicles have that. A little bit heavier than aluminium but is long lasting. And then down the bottom here we have the Pathfinder 3R, which is the latest design that allows you to see through the smoke. Down underneath that we have an 8.2 tonne tow point, and the vehicle has a 4.2 GVM levels upgrade. So what platform did we choose? Obviously we chose the Toyota Land Cruiser. This time, as opposed to the first 8 Land Cruisers that we built and gave away to rural fire brigades, we used a GXL. The reason we chose a GXL was because it has diff lock. It also has comfier seats. Many of you will say, if it's GXL, why does it have workmate wheels on it? We've gone with the steel rims for longevity, and also because they fit into the spare tyre compartment in the rear, which you will see in a minute. Other things we have on this vehicle, you'll see from this side, is we have a crew protection spray, which is CAFS, a compressed air foam system. It is operated from inside the cab, and we will give a demonstration of that a little bit later. Driver side lockers. This vehicle has our target was a 550 litre rotor-moulded belly tank, run over the weighbridge. There's a 600 kilo difference between empty and full, so it appears that we have overachieved target, so it has a 600 litre tank in it, and the top of the tank comes up to just underneath where the reflector stripe is. Now what that means on the RFBAQ designed light attacks is that everything above that line is storage. Now this vehicle has most of its stowage on the vehicle already, and you can look at all that empty locker space, and there is a little bit of weight room to put other things in it. This compartment here is specifically designed for 2 green kit bags, 2 folding chairs and a cricket bat for when you go on deployment. So again, driver's side, between the rear of the cabinets and the hose reel we have where your foam goes. Now the foam also is connected up to your CAFS unit, and just here you have the primer. So if you're changing foam drums, what you do is you open a little butterfly valve, you run the CAFS unit for about 2 or 3 seconds, and you close the butterfly valve again, and it will be primed. Above that you have the 2 outside helmet holders. We've driven around vehicles around the state, because they were also on the innovation platform, on very, very dusty roads, and they don't get dusty here, and it's a great place of keeping your helmet outside of the cab. Above that you've got your scene lights, and then underneath the vehicle you also have lights as well, and that means that you won't lose your visibility at night. And most of the injuries we get on the fire ground are from people operating not on even ground, and so that helps lighting the scene up in the evening. So working our way around to the rear of the vehicle, on the top there you can see the low level water indicator light. That also comes with a buzzer that has an override as well. Underneath that you have the crew deck camera. Now there's two cameras on the rear of the vehicle. There's that crew deck camera there, which gives you a nice wide view of everybody working to the rear of the vehicle. And then down under in the tray itself is another camera that we call stump cam. And so when you go into reverse, that's going to stop you reversing into trees and stumps, which can be quite expensive on fire brigade trucks. We have a sticker on how to operate the plumbing. It's very, very simple, and that allows anyone to walk up and have a look at this vehicle, have a look at the sticker if they have any question, and make water go in and water go out, which is on all of our vehicles, and we've found it's been very, very popular out in brigade land. The pump set. So what did we go with? We went with a Hatch diesel on this one. I know all of our previous vehicles we have gone with a Honda motor with a Davey twin impeller firefighter pump. For this vehicle we've gone with a Hatch diesel because even though due to supply problems it has not plumbed in at the moment, the plan is to have it plumbed in, and so that way we are not carrying extra fuel on the vehicle. Now we've matched that with a GARM pump, and GARM pumps in Queensland, we've used them for many, many years. The brigades have a great deal of trust in the product, and we are hoping that matched with a diesel that is going to give us a really good flow of water. To the right hand side of that you've got where you operate your pump set, and also where you turn on your scene lights and also your pump light. And then next to that we have a power reel with the very, very popular under reel drawer where you keep all your bits and pieces. So as we said before, on the rear of the vehicle we have stump cam here. Now this is where we keep the spare tyre. This is different from our previous designs. So easy to access, easy to use. And that is surrounded internally by that 600 litre rotor moulded poly tank. So passenger side of the vehicle, starting from the rear, you have your standpipe, your single drip torch, your side fill point, then you've got your lockers, wet lockers, chainsaw locker. Like with the Innovation platform, we've gone with an electric chainsaw. The battery charge points are up here, so it charges when you drive along. This again stops us having to carry fuel on the vehicle. So the whole plan of this vehicle, which we'll achieve when we get the Hatch diesel plumbed in, is above this line here, the only fuel will be in the drip torch itself, or the bar oil will be the only fuel inside of these cabinets. Where do you keep your drip torch fuel? Drip torch fuel fillers in here, and it comes out there. So we're not lifting jerry cans off, not lifting jerry cans back on, and we're not opening them on a hot day when they're under pressure. Here we have your two charge points for the vehicle, so when you plug it in at night, and down below that we have an outlet that has a meter hose on it that runs between here and here, and that will allow your passenger to fight a running grass fire from the vehicle in conjunction with the two batter sprays that are built into the bull bar that we will get to in a minute because they are activated from inside the cab. And we have a single rake hoe on this vehicle. Working our way through the inside of the cab, we have the internal fire curtains from Thermogard. Underneath that we have a screen. On that screen there are two views. One is the Pathfinder 3 thermal imaging camera that is built into the bull bar, and then your rear view is your crew deck camera, and you can scroll between those two. Coming down onto the actual dashboard itself, next to the hazard lights is a little red button. That little red button is hooked up to the Pathfinder 3. So when it identifies a person or an animal or something like that, it puts a yellow box around them. An alarm also goes off and that red light flashes. That's so when you're driving along at night or in the smoke in a dangerous situation, you're paying attention to the outside of the vehicle. You're not just focused on the screen. Now, by holding that button down for a couple of seconds, that will override the alarm, so it's just not going off all the time. Underneath that is the screen that comes with the vehicle. Now that's where your stump cam is built into that as well when you go into reverse. UHF, VHF radio handsets. Behind the handset is your internal water level indicator that lights up when you're in the vehicle. Next to that, you have your emergency start. So if your main battery is flat, you hold the emergency start button down, turn the ignition on, and that will then use the reserve battery to start the vehicle. Next to that is a sign that says batter spray, and the left one is for the left hand side and the right one is for the right hand side. To the right hand side of the steering wheel is a little metal plate that is velcroed. You pull that little metal plate off, it's got a little handheld on it, and beneath that is a button which you push, and that operates your compressed air foam system for your crew protection spray of the cab, which we'll have a bit of a play with later on. Coming back to the center of the console, you have the handset for your siren. It also has your public address system on it, and again, like the innovation platform, there's a jack behind that, and so you can plug your phone or your bushfire mapping tablet into that with your prepared community safety message. You can hit the little radio button on there, and then your message will come out your siren on the front of the vehicle, which will give you that consistent community safe message that you can push out through as many brigades as you want to send it to.
This is a test community emergency announcement. Please be aware of the following vital information.
Underneath that, you have the external speakers for your radios. You have a buzzer mute, so every time you open the tray and the rear of the vehicle and the handbrake is off, your check body light will come on and to a buzzer, so that allows you to override that. Your under tray lighting, and to the right hand side of that is the on off switch for your mobile signal booster. Why is there an on off switch for that? It's starting to go into all rural fire brigade light attacks, which is great. But one of the things that has been found, if you have two light attacks side by side and they both have their boosters on, they sort of cancel each other out. Underneath that is your ignition and revs up, revs down for your pump on the back, so you can operate that from without getting out of the cab. In the footwell of the passenger side seat is the fire extinguisher. When I first saw it, I went, that's a bit odd, you're going to keep knocking it. I've got in and out of the vehicle a number of times, and while it looks like it's right there, it actually doesn't seem to get in the way, so it appears to be a really good spot for it, because behind the seats on this vehicle, as you're going to see in a minute, is a little bit full. So going behind the seats in the vehicle, what we do is we have one of your handheld thermal imaging cameras. You also have your Sentinel 300, which gives you cleaner air and takes particulates out of the air. Above that you have your selfie. Above that you have your internal fire blanket in the vehicle, and above that you have your two Draeger escape masks, one for the passenger and one for the driver. Above that you also have your standard internal light, but you have another larger internal light, and you also have a map light as well. Now that was something out of the feedback forms that was fairly consistent in all of our Land Cruisers that we sent around the state. So as you'll see with the compressed air foam system that's activated by the driver in the cab, it's almost instantaneous. Now there was just a little bit of foam left in the system, so we ran that one with water. The one we developed on the innovation platform took about a minute to charge, and that was something that we were attempting to make something that when you push the button it happens right now, and this system delivers that. So I think that's an excellent step forward from where we were about 18 months ago. So the Fusion Cruiser, there we go. We attempted to make a safer light attack firefighting platform that also meets brigade needs. I think we've done that. The Fusion Cruiser will be touring around Queensland. You can follow it on our website. We would like as many brigade members as possible to feel, use, squirt water with the vehicle and fill in the feedback forms. It's very, very important to us, the feedback forms. Then at the end of this process, about Christmas time, we're going to let brigades know how you can apply to get the Fusion Cruiser, because our plan is at the final Rural Fire Summit next year. There'll be 3 summits. At the final summit, we will give it away to a Rural Fire Brigade. The CAF systems on the top of the vehicle, we think they can be retrofitted onto the 8 Land Cruisers the RFBAQ has already given away to Rural Fire Brigades, and that cab activated CAF system is also the one that we are looking at scaling up the design to retrofit onto the Ivecos. There's 24 Ivecos in the Rural Fire Fleet in Queensland. If you are a brigade with an Iveco, please get onto your area office, because we're attempting to retrofit 200 medium attacks this year. The fire service is with the government, and the ones with the multi-pumps, we have a design, there's a video for that, but this CAF system we think will work on the Iveco. So if you do have one of them, please contact your area office. And we hope you enjoy the vehicle, and we really look forward to hearing back from your ideas on how we went. Thank you.